welcome to the High School Dropouts podcast. My name is Nick, and welcome back to week number 4 here on our high school. I say dropouts instead of
You did.
backups. So same thing, same thing. We're gonna keep it going. Essentially, we're all dropouts. So even though we all graduated, let's keep it moving. Today is going to be our big NCAA March Madness special. We're going to say a bunch of dumb stuff and likely say stuff that you're going to agree with and you're not going to agree with. Most importantly, some of us are going to know what we're doing. Some of us are going to have no idea what we're doing. And most importantly of that, we're going to get it right. We're going to win billions of dollars. And we're going to be the first person to ever get this right. So we're going to have a good time today. We're going to be going through each brackets. Won't be talking about much else on the side of the sports today. We will be having a full recap of everything that's going on in the NFL next week, as well as a little bit of talk on the MLB and what's happened in the last few days with them finally having a season. So let's just get right into it. We're going to have Andrew share his screen, bring up his bracket. We're going to make the first few rounds pretty quick here, and let's get going.
So, as we all can see, I kind of already started filling it out. I picked Gonzaga to go to beat Georgia State, Memphis, UConn, Arkansas, Alabama, and Texas Tech, Michigan State, and Duke. Over in the South, I got Arizona and Seton Hall, Houston and Illinois, Michigan and Tennessee, Loyola Chicago and Villanova. Down in the East, we got Baylor, North Carolina, St. Mary's and UCLA, Texas and Purdue, San Francisco and Kentucky. Over in the Midwest, we have Kansas and Creighton, Iowa and Providence, Iowa State and Wisconsin, and Miami and Auburn.
All right, I guess it's my turn. Now all of a sudden the screen just wants to go. Yeah, I did, and it didn't work. I mean, it did work the first time.
That's
Why
right.
y'all go to Jacob first? Or second.
Jacob.
I don't know. Jacob, the Beast.
Easy enough. I'm going to go with the easy one here with Gonzaga. We got Boise State over Memphis, UConn over New Mexico State, Arkansas over Vermont, Bama over whoever plays them, Texas Tech. First upset is going to be Davidson over Michigan State, then Duke. Coming down here to the east, we've got Baylor, UNC. Whoever wins this 12th seed game is going to beat St. Mary's, UCLA. Got Virginia Tech beating Texas, Purdue over Yale, Murray State over San Francisco, Kentucky over St. Peter's. Arizona's going to win this game. Got TCU. Guy I used to work for went to TCU, so they're going to beat Seton Hall. This is where the controversy starts. We've got UAB and Chattanooga both pulling upsets. Colorado State and Tennessee. Sister Jean going to carry them over Ohio State. Villanova. Kansas. Creighton. Iowa. South Dakota State, and that high-powered offense is going to be Providence. LSU, Wisconsin, USC, and Auburn.
Love it.
All right.
Awesome, yeah.
So you all see everything. So first, obviously, we're going with Gonzaga. Then I'm going Memphis. Gotta go UConn. All right. They get boards. They corral 40% of the offensive boards. So I don't think they're gonna have any trouble handling New Mexico State. We're going to go Arkansas, then we're going to win Rutgers. I think they're going to win the play-in game and then take down Alabama. We're going Texas Tech, Davidson over Michigan State, then Duke. Then we go up to the top here. We got Arizona, Seton Hall, Houston, Illinois, Colorado State, Tennessee, Ohio State, and then Villanova. And we'll go down here. We got Baylor and Kansas. Then we're going back to North Carolina, St. Mary's, UCLA, Virginia Tech, Purdue, Murray State, Kentucky, and then we're going to go Auburn, USC, Wisconsin, Iowa State over LSU, Providence, then we're going to go Richmond over Iowa, and Creighton over San Diego State.
Alrighty, since Jacob and Austin went, time for me to share my screen.
Austin pressed the wrong button and
Awkward.
decided
Yep.
to disconnect. Okay, love that. So Justin, go ahead.
Don't mind me.
So what I went with at first was Memphis beating Gonzaga and Memphis, UConn and Vermont, Alabama and Texas, Davidson and Duke, Arizona, TCU, Houston and Illinois, Colorado and Tennessee, Ohio and Delaware. Then we went on to Baylor versus North Carolina, St. Mary's versus UCLA, Virginia Tech versus Yale, Murray versus Kentucky, Kansas versus San Diego, Richmond versus Providence, LSU versus Colgate, and USC versus Auburn.
Love it, Justin. All right, Kyle, go right ahead. For your
My turn. All right.
This is gonna be fun.
Just wait. All right. So, first one I have is Gonzaga, and they're going to be going up against Memphis. Then I got UConn. My first upset is going to be Vermont. Then I got Alabama going against Texas Tech. I really like Texas Tech in this region over here. And I got Michigan State versus Duke. And then going down, I got Baylor versus North Carolina. I agree with Jake that whoever wins this Wyoming-Indiana matchup is going to beat St. Mary's. And I have UCLA beating Akron. I really like Virginia Tech. They've been on fire lately. Purdue is going to destroy Yale. San Francisco is going to upset Murray State there. And Kentucky's going to win that one. Going back up here, I got Arizona going up against TCU. Houston's going up against Illinois. I got Colorado State going up against Tennessee. I got Loyola Chicago going up against Villanova. I got Kansas going up against San Diego State. Iowa's going up the Providence Friars. Gotta love it, from Little Rhode Island. We got LSU's going up against Wisconsin. And USC is going up against my number one upset that I'm predicting is Jacksonville State will upset Auburn.
That's saucy, Kyle. That's saucy. We're going to go ahead and do this fully live here. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at this one bit. So we're going to make this nice and clean here. So although I have a decent idea of who might win, let's try and make this quick here. Gonzaga, Memphis, UConn, Vermont, home favorite right here, Avi. Alabama's actually going to choke to Rutgers, or that's Notre Dame. So you're going to choke Texas Tech, Michigan State. This is an easy choke matchup, but they'll win that. Moving on to the other side here, we got Arizona, although they're not going to lose. TCU, the Horned Frogs, the legendary men right there. Houston, those are my favorites. Chattanooga for the goated name. Colorado State, Tennessee. Ooh, this is a fun one. I'm going to Loyola Chicago. I'm going to believe in the men from previous years. Let's go Baylor. UNC is going to get upset because Kyle. St. Mary's going to win this game. UCLA for sure. I agree with the Virginia Tech pick. I also agree with that. Murray State is going to win, no, because Kyle will be wrong about that too. Kansas, I'm not going to predict any 16-1s this year. Not this year. Actually, you know what? San Diego State is going to win that. I'll pick Providence. Mostly, I like Iowa State there. Wisconsin. You know what? We're going to stick with USC and Auburn to end it. Let's go. Yeah, I like that. Feel pretty confident with that set right there.
Cool. Real quick. All right. So, started from the top. So Nick said he has no 61 upsets. Well, get ready for some fun. So I got Georgia State, Boise State going up against each other. I got UConn and Vermont. Got Alabama and Montana State. I got Michigan and CSU. Then I got Norfolk State North Carolina, I got St. Mary's, I got Akron, I got Texas and Purdue, I got San Francisco and St. Peter's. I have WRST or BRY against TCU. I have Houston versus Illinois. I got Michigan versus Longwood. I have Ohio State against Delaware. I have I have another 16 upset going up against San Diego State. I got Richmond, Providence, Iowa State, Wisconsin, and USC and Jayville State or Jacksonville.
Let's go, Steve. Agreeing with me with Jacksonville. Let's go.
I don't
Both
know.
of you will
it's
be
gonna a lot
wrong,
of
but it's
upset.
okay.
That's very possible. So interesting first round here. We definitely want to go quicker through the first round and a little bit the second round. Then once we get to the Sweet 16, we're definitely going to kind of sit there and talk a little bit more about it. So let's get moving right on into the round of 32. Feel free to take a little bit more time, Andrew, if there's anything you want to talk about, but otherwise go on through.
Guys, so in the West, I have Gonzaga versus UConn. Great matchup. Love both teams. They're gonna do well. Then I have Texas Tech and Michigan State. Both have done well this season. Both can prove to be some tough matchups against their opponents. Then I got Seton Hall and Illinois. Good teams. Illinois has been doing pretty well this season. Seton Hall in the Big East, like, gotta take a chance with them. Like, they're underrated right there. Then you got Tennessee and Villanova. Gonna be a great matchup going into that one. I got UNC and St. Mary's. Baylor's is gonna get taken down. I don't think they're gonna make a run back into the championship this year. Purdue and Kentucky. Then we got Kansas and Providence. And then Wisconsin and Auburn. Wisconsin's been really great this season.
All right. Well, first we're gonna start right here with Baylor. Baylor's gonna go back. I think they're gonna get back to the Final Four. We'll get back to that later. Then we're going St. Mary. St. Mary's gonna upset UCLA, the Final Four darlings of last year's tournament. And then I gotta say Virginia Tech, big upset over Purdue. Then we're going Kentucky. Going on over to this side of the bracket, we've got Auburn over USC, Wisconsin over Iowa State. Then we're gonna go Providence, and then Kansas. Going on up, we've got Villanova. They're too well coached, so I don't think they'll have much of trouble with Ohio State, who's been up and down this season. Then we got Tennessee, Houston, and then I think Seton Hall gives Arizona a run for its money, but I think Arizona comes out on top. Then it's big, obvious with Gonzaga. Then we're going UConn. Got to go home with my boys. And then I'm going to put Rutgers over Texas Tech. Duke over Davidson. Yeah, that's what we're going to go for our Sweet 16.
All right, as you can see, I've already filled this out. I've got Gonzaga over Boise State, UConn over Arkansas, Texas Tech in that tough Texas Tech defense over Alabama, Duke beating Davidson. Baylor over North Carolina, UCLA over Wyoming or Indiana, Purdue over Virginia Tech, and then Murray State coming up with a big upset over Kentucky. Auburn over USC and Wisconsin over LSU. South Dakota State in that high-powered offense continues to roll over Iowa. And then Kansas over Creighton. Sister Jean provides enough for Loyola Chicago to beat Villanova. Tennessee over Colorado State. UAB over Chattanooga. And Arizona over Texas Christian University.
Great. So, Gonzaga's the easy choice here. So, oh, I'm sorry, Justin.
I thought.
I totally, you know what? Skip me. I totally skipped you, Justin. My bad.
It's okay.
Go for it.
Alrighty. So we've got mine for the next round. It was I just lost my mouse for some reason. It was Memphis versus Vermont. And then we also got Alabama versus Duke, TCU versus Houston, Colorado versus Ohio, Baylor versus St. Mary's, or Mary's, I guess, Yale versus Kentucky, San Diego versus Richmond, because they are a spider, so I thought of Spider-Man, and then Colgate versus Auburn.
Got them toothpaste.
All right, let's try this again. Sorry about that, Justin.
No worries, I thought I just skipped over you, honestly.
No, I thought I heard you go before Jake really quick, and yeah, I guess my hearing isn't what it used to be. Anyway, I'm still going with Gonzaga over Memphis. I'm gonna go with the upset here. I do think Vermont is going to beat UConn and shock everybody. I think Texas Tech is going to go over Alabama and Duke over Michigan State. And then I think North Carolina is going to go over Baylor. Baylor's just been very injury prone this year. I think UCLA is going to be either Wyoming or Indiana there. Virginia Tech over Purdue, and Kentucky over San Francisco. USC is going to beat Jacksonville. I got to get LSU over Wisconsin. Iowa is going to go beat up on Providence, unfortunately. Kansas is going to beat San Diego State. Sister Jean's got a lot of magic still in her, so she's going to lead Loyola Chicago over Villanova. And I got Tennessee over Colorado, Houston over Illinois, and Arizona over TCU.
Love it, Kyle. Let's take a look here again. I'm doing this, so I do it all off of. We'll do the best every year. So let's go ahead here. Gonzaga is most definitely going to win the game here. As much as I love to choose Vermont as a meme, I will go ahead and choose Connecticut. I will then go ahead and choose Texas Tech to actually win, and then Michigan State gets the upset over Duke, and all Duke fans are pissed. We're going to go ahead, first big upset here, Marquette over Baylor, because, that makes sense. And then we're going to go ahead and take, I'll probably be smart about this. We'll throw UCLA in there. I do think Purdue is going to beat Virginia Tech. I always have Purdue going pretty far. I do think Murray State is actually going to take the dub over Kentucky, which will be a big surprise. Moving on here, I do think Auburn will win. I do think Wisconsin will win. I do think Iowa will upset Providence. This one's hard. I will pick Kansas as much as I don't want to. Villanova always makes it far. Colorado State will not upset Tennessee. And then Houston, who are some of my favorites. And I'll actually take TCU to beat Arizona in a last-second shoot or shot there. So I think it's pretty solid. Let's go ahead.
Get my screen going. All right, so we are back. So we're going to see Georgia State take on UConn. We got Alabama and Michigan going up against each other. I like a good 16 runs. So Norfolk State and St. Mary's are going to go up against each other. It's going to be wild. Then we got Texas upsetting Purdue, and we got San Francisco, of course, smashing St. Peter's. Then I went a little smarter. I went for – I have a feeling these 16s aren't going to make it as good. So we got TCU and Houston going at each other after a very tough game with Illinois. I got Longwood going up against Ohio State. Ohio State is going to put Delaware in its place. Then we got San Diego State going up against Providence. Shout out to Kyle. We got Wisconsin, Iowa State, Iowa State and USC going up against each other. And that pretty much covers it. I'm very excited for this to win.
Anyone have any outlandish things they want to say about brackets so far? We're going to start to get a little bit more into nitty-gritty here.
Kyle sucks.
When I win the tournament challenge, you will have to rescind on those words.
You want to put some money on it?
We'll put money on this.
We want to put some money on this bracket for all of us.
Let's go.
I say we put some money down on this, boys. Winner of whoever has the highest percentage at the end of this, we should put money into this, like right now. Or do we all agree?
Sure.
It doesn't look like Jake wants to, so Whoever doesn't want to isn't
That
forced
means
to,
Jake.
obviously.
That means Jake is just kind of scared. He's gonna lose some money right
Oh
there.
yeah.
Ooh.
No,
That's what
I
I'm
literally
hearing. That's what I'm
cannot do
hearing.
He's also not able to be as a his career.
No, I
He's
know.
unable to.
It's understandable.
My
Oh,
logic
yeah.
says no.
What I love about like this bracket is I feel like the likelihood of somebody just doing something like doing the bracket randomly just for fun is better than like the most in-depth analysis you could ever do in basketball. Because all it takes is one game. These are one game eliminations. So, even LeBron has his bad days, and the Lakers can get smashed. So who knows?
I have to say that the spread on the teams this year for where they are in the brackets is a lot better than years in the past, where it's not like a whole entire like part of the bracket is completely stacked, and then you have them running up against each other. It's a lot more spread out as compared
So,
to years
so it's
before.
kind of like a lot more fair this year.
Yeah, it seems a lot more fair this year than years past.
I'm surprised
Love
the
it.
amount of one seeds we've had losing in the first 2 rounds, boys.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But I feel like there's a couple that can actually sneak in. But I mean, for my bracket choices, I don't know how some of them are gonna do.
Every year, it's more likely. Every year, there's more good players. So
Yeah.
One thing I gotta say though, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if, imagine like depending on whatever sport, like the first seed usually loses in the first round. I just think, it's possible if they're in their head or they don't take the team seriously.
like
I think
Virginia.
like Virginia, there are a lot of things that can get in their way. So it's just I don't know. I love guessing with this, but I have no
So,
idea how it's gonna go.
I noticed that all of you basically had chose Virginia Tech to go through, and honestly, yeah, they're really hot right now. But I mean, they're also in a huge break right now. Like this is like giving other teams a chance to come up with some new plays, some new ISO situations for their teams to allow them to break down Virginia Tech's team, and that's why I'm thinking Virginia Tech ain't gonna make it that far this season.
No matter what we say, it all realistically is just a crapshoot. Like we could try and try
Oh,
and
I
try,
know, yeah.
and 90% of us are gonna get these wrong. It's just mostly just for fun, like realistically. But
I'm also
No,
just
I
gonna
know.
say y'all are sleeping on South Dakota State. Second highest rated offense in the entire country, and y'all are just like, nah.
they play in a minor conference.
They went undefeated in that minor conference. They went
Yeah.
30-2.
In
If
the
you play
minor
the
conference,
Giants all year and went
let
out
me
of
put the-
record,
Let
doesn't
me
mean
remind
anything.
you of Wichita State, please. 2013 Final Four
Wichita
appearance.
State also played 2 top 25 teams that year. South Dakota
That's
State has
fine.
not. South Dakota State hasn't been proven up against anyone.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
It's gonna be in the
Well,
tour.
it's going to only get more heated as we get into these leagues. We're going to start talking a little bit more about what we do as we do it. Andrew, feel free to go ahead. Let's pick your Elite Eight.
All right, we're gonna do this live with all of you guys. So, we got Gonzaga and UConn going up against each other. Gonzaga's been a really great team for years in the past, and leading up to this year. That's why they got #1 seed. But UConn always gets those boards, and those rebounds are something that you need to do to prove yourself, to help your offense and your defense. This is a tough one. I'm gonna have to say it, but UConn ain't gonna make it into the Elite Eight this year. I think they had a great season this year, making a huge return to the Big East and like becoming a #3 seed in the Big East tournament was really great for them. They did performed well this season. I think it's Gonzaga. Jumping down to Texas Tech and Michigan State. Two good teams. Michigan State always ends up choking by the time they hit the Elite Eight. I think I got to go Texas Tech on this one. Seton Hall and Illinois. Illinois has been pretty good this season. I think we're gonna go Illinois on this one. Then we got Tennessee and Villanova. Villanova's been great. Tennessee's also been great, but Villanova. Now we're on to North Carolina and St. Mary's. UNC.
Nah,
They've
you gotta
proven a
pick St.
lot this
Mary's.
season. Nah, UNC, they upset Duke in the regular season at Coach K's last game. Been pretty well this season. Had a little couple ups and downs, but they proved themselves. Purdue and Kentucky. Purdue. I'm gonna have to go Purdue on that one. Kansas and Providence. Kansas always has been a powerhouse team. But Providence has really stepped up this year. Big East is just like gonna become one of the powerhouse conferences to deal with. So I'm gonna have to go Providence this one. And then I got Wisconsin upsetting Auburn.
All right. Well, we're starting off down with Baylor, and I am going to pick Baylor again. I think they're going to make a deep run this year again. Going to go Kansas. See, Providence has been great all year, but they just don't have those stars that they're going to need come playoff time, come big tournament time. Kansas does, so they will advance. Then at the bottom with Auburn, I just think they have Jabari Smith, who is that player that can go and get them a win anytime they need it. They've lost, for the most part, all close games throughout the season, and had a spectacular game against Connecticut. They ended up losing, which was a great overtime battle. So they're going to take the W over Wisconsin. Down here, I got to go Kentucky. And we're going to have all matchups of 1 and 2 here in the final 4. Or, sorry, in the Elite 8. Then up top, I really want to pick UConn. They are my boys, but unfortunately, they're just not strong enough to against the powerhouse that is Gonzaga with Chet Holmgren, Tilly. There's just nothing they can do. They'll be hard to beat, but I just think in the end they will come up just short of a trip to the Elite 8. So Gonzaga will go on. And here, I think Houston this year round is not quite as good as last year. They lost Quentin Grimes. It's going to be hard for them. Arizona is just talented, but I don't think Arizona is going to pull this one out. Actually, I think Houston will be scrappy and find a way to get back to the Elite 8. Then we have Villanova. Colin Gillespie is a fifth-year senior. Jay Wright is just a phenomenal coach, so they are going to go on to the Elite 8. Rutgers is going to have a good run all the way to the Sweet 16, but that is where they will bow out to Duke. It's Coach K's last year, so he will have his guys ready to go. And this is my Elite 8. But just so everybody knows, the last of all the championships, 23 have gone to 1 seeds, which is 60%. And unless you go all the way back to 2014 with UConn, or even further back to 2011 with UConn, it has all been 1 or 2 seeds to win since then. And you got to go back to 2006 and even further back to get to a really low seed. So it's going to be another 1 seed this year.
Well, Austin, that might work for you, but I think I've got some different things in store later. Easy enough here. Gonzaga and Chet Holmgren going to beat UConn, a projected top 3 pick in the NBA. Just going to carry. I'm taking Duke with Coach K's last season. Texas Tech is going to give them a fight. They have a really good defense over in Texas Tech, but I think the emotion behind Coach K's retirement will carry Duke. Here, I've got Baylor over UCLA. Honestly, just think Baylor's the better team than UCLA. And here, I've got Murray State continuing their Cinderella run to the Elite 8. Purdue is a really good team, but Murray State's got some momentum and can continue that now. On Wisconsin over Auburn. I got a really good friend who's a Wisconsin fan who tells me they're going all the way. Going to take his advice here and pick him to go over Auburn. And the Cinderella run for South Dakota State continues. Them and their high-powered offense are going to upset number 1 Kansas to go face Wisconsin. Sister Jean's got enough energy to carry Loyola into the Elite Eight. And then, no upsets here, boys. We're going to go Arizona over UAB. UAB's Cinderella run ends in the Sweet 16.
So for the final set, we would be going into, well, not final set. For that, it'd be Vermont versus Alabama. After that, it'd be then Houston versus Ohio as it gets closer. And then you would still have Baylor versus Yale, and the Spider-Man Richmond versus Auburn.
All right. Justin, you have some great picks there. Love them. Love them. Let's take a look here. All right. So, as much as I wanted to pick Vermont here, it's got to go Gonzaga. They're just too unstoppable. And I have no love for Duke as I am a UNC fan, but so I do want to give all the respect to Coach K, but it's definitely going to be Texas Tech here. UNC's run will end. Unfortunately, UCLA will win that. Kentucky is just too powerful to neck and upset Virginia Tech here. I'm pretty confident USC is going to go on a nice little run here. So I'm picking them over LSU and Iowa over Kansas. Sister Jean's magic is going to just run dry here. Tennessee is going to end up winning. And Houston, I think, is going to pull off the upset against Arizona.
Love it, Kyle. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's see what I can pull out of my butt here to win for 5th year straight or something like that. So Gonzaga will beat University of Connecticut as much as we are New England homeboys, all of us. Gonzaga, the legends, the myth, the legends. They're going to go ahead and beat UConn. I do, however, think that Michigan State will not choke for 1 year in their lives in any sport whatsoever. They will not choke. And they will make it to the Elite Eight. As we get a little further down the bracket, I must get a little bit more favorite here. UCLA will look as good as they did when that teammate picked up his head so they could go ahead and look forward to this win this year. Not the whole thing. Murray State's run does end here. Purdue, I always push them far. They're always nasty. They're going to win here. I am going to go with Jake's advice and stick with Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Honey Badgers living good this year, okay? We're talking Tyrann Mathieu. We're talking Russell Wilson, and the Honey Badger don't stop, okay? They're going to win this year.
That was a lot.
Kansas will win. You know what? Actually, Iowa's going to win. Kansas sucks. Okay, Tennessee beats Villanova, and Houston, my favorites for the tournament, are going to pull that out of their butt cheeks over the Horned Frogs, okay? And then that's about it for this round.
From the top, you got Georgia State hot, just swinging all out, and they're going to be going up against Alabama, of course, well tied. Next, we got, unfortunately, St. Mary's is going to get the upper hand, and they're going to be facing Texas, but who knows? It's probably where it's going to stop. I'm liking USC, and they're going to be going up against Providence, so shout out to Kyle. But over here, I got Longwood still just crushing through Michigan, and then we got Ohio State coming in, and then we have TCU and Houston. Houston, I think, is going to get the upper hand of Illinois on a last-second shot, and that's my final 8.
Love it just as much as I love Jake's cat. Ignore or bother.
Ignore all of that.
Yeah. Any specific opinions? Anyone super pissed or not like any picks so far by anyone else?
Nick, why did you not choose Kansas over?
Sometimes you gotta break from the obvious, And Kansas, they're always up there, but this is gonna be the year that they eat a fat one, and and they're going to lose in the Sweet 16. Or sorry, no, I was right, Sweet 16. So yeah, they're going to be honest, Iowa's always nasty. I think that Iowa's women's team, I can't remember her name right now, but she's disgusting, and she's just going to come on the court. She's going to shave her head, and she's going to go ahead and just go off against Kansas trash cans. So it's just going to be disgusting, honestly. I can't wait to watch her drop 35 on some boys, So honestly, though, I think it's too boring to go with Kansas, so that's why.
Also, anybody who picked against Sister Jean, you're gonna run into some trouble.
I'm telling, that was such a hard choice actually for me to pick. To not pick Loyola Chicago over Tennessee. I just
That's an
really
easy
love
pick.
Tennessee's game this year. So
Easy pick.
Tennessee's actually really good. Like I think
I just
they're
love Tennessee.
I feel like that matchup. I wish it wasn't that matchup that they had to Loyola Chicago had to go up against. If it was
Honestly,
anybody else,
Tennessee, the 3 seed is a crime. Tennessee should be a 2 seed in my opinion, but I don't make the bracket, so.
well, no. I looked at a stat earlier, and their defense is like, I think it's top 5 in the country, and their offense is top 15. That's nuts. I don't understand how you're a 3 seed with those kind of statistics.
Exactly.
defense wins games.
Oh,
in
well.
basketball.
Okay, so going into the Elite Eight, who's going to make it to each person's Final Four? Let's go, Andrew. Let's take a look. We're gonna say if your picks are bad, and when they're good, I will we'll let you know as well. So be careful.
Ladies and gentlemen. So we got Gonzaga versus Texas Tech in my bracket. You know what? I'm gonna have to say this. As much as I think Gonzaga's a powerhouse team, I think Texas Tech is going to upset them here, move to the Final Four. That is a statement that I'm making now, and
Gotcha.
y'all can call me out if I'm wrong on this.
Easy points.
Don't bet against Chet.
I actually agree with you, Andrew.
Yeah.
I agree
Not
with you.
surprising, Kyle.
Oh, that is picks wrong then.
Damn it, I got you, Gonzaga. No, yeah, I think Texas Tech upsets them here. Gonzaga is, even though they're a powerhouse team, they do have hiccups here and there. I think after going through UConn, I feel like some of their players are going to be really burnt out a bit, and heading into a Texas Tech team that can play fresh, has the ability to carry forward through a season like this. I feel like they could definitely pull it out. Then we got Illinois versus Villanova. Two great teams. Both have had a tremendous season. I think Nova's going to take over Illinois. As much as I love Illinois taking that win, probably making it, I think it's just going to be Nova in this situation. North Carolina and Purdue. UNC has been great. I think since Duke is not going to be in the picture in my bracket, I have to go UNC. I'm sorry, Purdue, but I'm feeling UNC in this one. Providence and Wisconsin. Wisconsin has been a great team, always will be, no matter what the situation is, no matter if they're an 8 seed or a 9 seed or even now a 3 seed. I think Wisconsin's going to take it here, boys.
Well, up here, it's going to be Gonzaga. Duke is going to play them hard, but they lost to Duke by 3 the first time, and they're not going to make that same mistake again. So Chet Holmgren and the team are just going to bring home a huge dub and send Coach K home early for his last and bittersweet NCAA championship, or tournament, I should say.
Coach K, more like Coach L. God, is that? I'm just kidding. A lot of respect for the loser.
He will not be getting his 6th this year. All right, then we're gonna go with Villanova. I just think they have a great team this year. That Houston will be there, but they'll be run down by Arizona, so they won't have, I don't think, much of a fight left in them. And no, Loyola Chicago will not be there. let's see. Then we go here. We got Baylor over Kentucky. I think Baylor's going back to the Final Four again. They got experience, they got the coaching, and they're gonna want to defend that national championship as much as possible. Then over here, I gotta go with one of my favorite teams right now in college basketball, which is Auburn. And then that will be my Final Four with Baylor versus Gonzaga for a rematch of last year's championship, and Villanova and Auburn.
All right. So I'm gonna go against my own advice. I just told Andrew not to bet against Chet, but Coach K last season gonna try to make a run. His players are gonna be hype. They're gonna be ready to go. Baylor and Murray State. This one's actually easy. This is where Murray State's Cinderella run ends, and Baylor continues on to play Duke in the next round.
I really thought he was going to put Murray State.
Now,
Yeah.
Sister Jean. You
No
don't bet against
shot.
Sister Jean.
Gross.
You don't bet
No
against Sister
shot.
Jean. Loyola
Oh, Mel
Chicago.
Kiper showed up
move into
today, boys.
Loyola Chicago. Move into the Final Four. You don't bet against Sister Jean.
Already did.
Now, as much as I would love to predict a Loyola Chicago Jackrabbits of South Dakota State Final Four, I can't do it. Wisconsin's
Yes,
going to
you
beat
can.
South Dakota State in that high-powered offense. Our Final Four will be Duke and Baylor and Loyola Chicago and Wisconsin.
Going into those Final Four, I don't know why my mouse never shows up. It is going to be Vermont versus Yale, and Ohio State versus Auburn. Because two places that sound like New Hampshire and New England, and then the most preppy school out there, and the school everyone hears about.
I'll see.
I'll accept. I'll accept. it.
Beautiful.
No question.
The only thing I disagree with, Justin, is that you called Yale the most preppy school.
That's
remember-
Harvard.
I don't know
I
about
remember from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Cody wanted to get into Yale because of how like a smart school it was. So that's the only thing I think of with Yale.
Harvard. Then there's the
I-
Harvard.
Yeah, there is Harvard
yeah.
as well.
No, I think me and
Harvard, yeah.
Andrew can confirm that they are
Oh yeah.
egregiously preppy.
Anytime I went down to UNH, the University of New Haven, they pulled up near them. They.
Andrew, there's only one UNH and it's located in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I know.
That's very valid.
Nah,
Well,
nah,
and
nah.
we also went
Sorry.
to PSU.
Duke. Oh, I forgot. I should have picked PSU for this whole tournament.
I was waiting for it. He never said it.
I know. Disappointed.
All right. Gonzaga over Texas Tech is such a hard one for me. I really think
They
Texas
beat him by
Tech is gonna
14 the
pull it
first
off,
time,
though.
just letting you know.
Exactly, and Texas Tech doesn't make that mistake again.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. They lose by 20 this time.
Houston and Tennessee.
Go
I
Vols.
think that's pretty easy. That's not what I want to do. Easily Tennessee there.
Vols.
Iowa versus USC. I could really see this going either way, but I do think it's going to be USC.
You're ragging on me for picking Loyola Chicago.
I was gonna say I could
I
see either
am.
way. Both those picks aren't even there, Kyle.
We'll see. We'll see just about that. And then Ty Washington is leading Kentucky. What is that? Kentucky all the way. So my Final Four is Texas Tech, Kentucky, Tennessee, and USC.
So as good as those picks aren't, we're gonna be on part of the thing here. So, easy pickings for us today, boys. Michigan State does choke this time. They do take that one to the face. And my pick to make it really far that shouldn't is Houston. Although the last few years I've been rooting for them, one of these years they're gonna not suck just enough to make it to the Final Four.
And this is not that year.
This is their year, okay? Houston is where all the good basketball players are. Football players, no shot. Okay, so moving on to the next piece here. Purdue doesn't make it to the Final Four if I've ever seen them. I think UCLA does beat them, and I actually think it's a really close game. I'm talking like 79-78. And then Wisconsin, the cheeseheads of the cheeseheads, going on to the Final Four. So we got Houston versus Wisconsin, the battle of the Reds. And we got Gonzaga versus UCLA, the battle of the Blues, because green sucks and so does yellow. So
We
easy
went to a
clap,
school
Baylor.
where its color is green.
Shut up, Justin. Okay, so moving on to that, let's go ahead, Steve.
All right. Well, back to the fun. So now the real picks begin.
The real picks.
Georgia State, they're just throwing it out there. They just slap on Alabama. They should stick to football. So we got Georgia State and then Texas and St. Mary's. This game was pretty close until you get like, I'd say the last 2 minutes where Texas is just going to go off and just score a bunch, and it's more as close as it really was. Then we got so we got Houston and Longwood. Longwood is able to get a lot of momentum to plowing through everybody, so they're gonna perform a huge upset against Houston. Then we got Providence. Providence is just showing strong. You know, it's a close one against USC, but they just pulled through. And look at that, we have a 16 and a 14 seed playing the final.
Steve, I gotta ask,
Gonna
why do you
be
like
made.
Longwood so much? Why do you like
I was
Longwood
gonna
so
say,
much?
this is the only person I've heard
I've been
Longwood
doing
from.
some. I've been doing a lot of research into it, and I won't get to nitty gritty because I don't want to take up too much time. But I think they just have the potential. Longwood has the potential right there.
Do they have the potential to have Longwood, have a nice long entry into the actual tournament, really make it
Only
far?
No, they don't actually have wood on the team. They're just basketball players. Come on now.
Jacob's
Oh, I'm
face
sorry.
describes
And,
it
No,
all.
no, they have the
those are
potential
my
for a
picks.
deep run,
I love it. Deep
a
run.
deep push. Yeah, they can push deep into that.
Moving to the last rounds, we are gonna go ahead. We'll do the picks for the Final Four and the championship and throw your scores in there too. Anyone who puts over 100 points, it's a W, obviously, because college 100s all the time. So go ahead and take it away for the final round, the Final Four and championship.
That's a cool rule. I didn't know you actually can't go above 100 points.
You can. It just
You can't.
never.
Oh.
It just rarely ever happens. All right. So here we are, Final Four in New Orleans. Is that New Orleans, LA? What? All right,
Louisiana. Oh my god! I just lost full.
Oh, sorry.
I think I lost
Anyways,
6,000.
I'm
yeah.
losing my brain cells here. All right. Anyways, we have Texas Tech versus North Carolina. I think after Texas Tech beating Gonzaga in the last round, Texas Tech is running on some high energy and they are feeling it. They are beating
Something
North
else.
Carolina right here. All right. And then we got Villanova versus Wisconsin. Two very great teams, two dominantly performing teams. I'm going to have to go Wisconsin here, boys. And in the ending of this all, we have two number 3 seeds going up against each other. We have Texas Tech versus Wisconsin. Texas Tech, after beating North Carolina. And we're running through the West. The West. They ran through the West. We're going to have to take Texas Tech here, guys. And that score is going to end up being 73-69.
Hey,
Zero.
And I am submitting that now. You heard it here.
Oh, you submitted your incorrect
Well-
picks.
not sponsored by Allstate.
Well, like I said, it will be a 1 or 2 seed that wins this year, and it will be a 1 seed. It will be Gonzaga that's going to the final over Baylor. And on the other side, we have Villanova meeting them. I think Villanova has all the tools to go for a deep run. And as much as I like Jabari Smith, and he is a future lottery pick, Auburn is a very young team, so they will not be able to get past this stout Villanova team. And then finally, Gonzaga gets the win they've been looking for so long. Mark Few finally breaks through and gets his championship, and it is a score that is 120. Sorry.
20.
That was the total. That was the total. I'm kidding.
Whoa.
I was like, damn.
67
High school.
to 68. That's the
Oh, that's so
68. Submit picks.
So Gonzaga is going to win with 68 because it looks like you're saying Gonzaga is going to lose at 67.
It doesn't
Did
matter.
I put that backwards?
No, it's fine. It's just a score. Yeah, it's just a score. So
All right, we've got this beautiful Final Four.
yes, obviously.
Yeah,
It's
because
wonderful.
will be there. Other than
This is where Sister Jean's magic sadly ends. Again, got some fun information from my friend who is a very giant Wisconsin fan who told me they're going all the way. They're going to make it to the national title game. And they're going to run into Duke. Again, I'm going back to Coach K's last year. The emotions are going to be running hot. And you know in college basketball, when teams get on runs and they're feeling good, it can take them all the way. And that's exactly what it's going to do. Coach K goes out on top. A score of 73 to 72. Game-winning shot.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I just
Decent pick for Coach L.
don't see that happen, Jake.
So,
That's
on
fine.
my finishing up, we would have Yale beating Vermont and Ohio beating Auburn. And just because of, as I was saying before, of everyone hearing about Ohio, I was thinking Ohio would beat over Yale with a score of 95 to 87.
Love it, Justin.
Love it. I
Make it
love
happen.
Love
Love
it.
it. I was really hoping you were gonna have Yale win, Justin. One of these years,
they're too
one of
preppy.
these
Too
years, an
preppy.
Ivy League school
Look,
will
Austin.
win.
If
It'll
it was Yale, and if UConn was already out, I would have been rooting for Yale because I want a Connecticut team to win again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be rooting for them.
All right.
All right, Kyle. Let's see your intriguing takes.
My take. So like
Ooh, they're
Austin
gonna be
said,
bad.
it's a 1 or 2 team to have won the past few champions, and it will be a 2 seed to win this year. And the one who will be facing up against it will be USC. I just have a feeling. I don't know. I just can't explain it. But Kentucky's going to win. Ty Washington and Oscar Tshiebwe are going to lead the way.
What?
It's going to be 85-77 score there.
I
think I totally botched up his name, but that's all right.
Okay, Kentucky hasn't won since Jason Tatum was there, so we're gonna move on.
Jason, did you
happening.
say
He went to
Kentucky?
Duke. He went to
Tatum,
Duke.
yeah.
I flipped it. Where I meant Anthony Davis.
Oh, okay.
How do you mix Tatum and Davis up?
But college basketball is not my forte. Leave me alone. Okay. So we're going to go with the best picks in the league. So I do agree with Austin's whole thing, which is why I've left a singular 1 or 2 seed in this whole thing. Gonzaga will, of course, go ahead and beat UCLA down in the dumpster by 20 points probably this time because Gonzaga is nasty. Bulldogs, let's go. And Houston, my Cinderella run of the tournament, will make it to the tournament and then get absolutely shafted by the team that they are playing. We're talking 92. You know what? No respect. 92-72. Gonzaga is shafting Houston. They're going to make it all the way and be sent home. Shafted. Okay. Easy pick. Lock it in. Gonzaga's winning. Big W. Duke's going out early. Get out of my face. Coach A, Coach L. Love the man. Much respect. Take this out.
Takes.
All right, it's time for Longwood.
All All right, here we go. Oh, it is so crazy that you say that. So, right, Georgia State, they have a lot of momentum on their side. Georgia State, they're coming in hot, and they just want to prove that a 16 seed can make it all the way. And so they're going to beat out Texas. It's going to be so close. Like, penalty shots are going to decide the game. And then we have Longwood. I'm so sorry for everybody at
This
home.
man said penalty shots.
I was about to say, is that even a thing?
I didn't know we were playing soccer now.
Might be. So anyways, so I got Longwood. It's just it's just been a very lengthy haul, and I think they got this. Providence is gonna show up, and they realize, oh, we're the only part of Rhode Island, and all that pressure is just gonna make them choke the game. And we got Georgia State and Longwood going at each other, and it's a very tough game. It is well fought. It is. There's a lot of back and forth for a little bit, but then it just turns.
It's
into
not
defense.
realistic.
And we have Longwood pulling in a very last-minute shot to win 70-68. Nowhere in between. It would not be in between.
It's not even
that
69.
My championship.
Steve, would you say that Providence spoke them along?
Yes. Yes, I believe so.
Well, that was
It's gonna be so good when this is right. Oh, it's so good.
I'm definitely gonna be doing more than just this one. I might do another one or two, but
Yes.
that'll be my official podcast one. That we will go ahead. We're all gonna name it the podcast one with our names there, so we all follow suit. That is the one we will hold accountable because it was hilarious. But yeah, let's go. That was fun. I do think that the 1-2 seed winner is likely to be the case again. However, I do think in only a couple of years that will start to dissipate a bit. I do think that those higher, maybe top 6 seeds will start winning sometimes more frequently than they are now. But for now,
What makes you say that?
well, just the amount of people in the world is increasing, and the amount of skill in every player is increasing. So the amount of good players, the pool of good players is only getting bigger, which means that not as big schools are getting better. It is very apparent in something like college football, and is only going to get more apparent in college basketball and other sports for that matter. So
Plymouth
I
State
also think
wins
the
March
col-
Madness 2030.
Also, I found a fun statistic. It was you're more likely to win the lottery 7 times than you are to get a complete March Madness bracket. But there are computer simulations that have not been able to predict it because it's so random every year.
I just want to be one of the people that gets it right to like the Sweet 16 or later. I don't understand those people.
Yeah.
I'm always down like within the first 3 games. Like I have one that goes wrong. I'm like, oh, all right, there he goes.
Yeah.
It's all
I
luck.
will-
Realistically, it's luck. It really is.
It's
Like,
all luck.
like Steve said, like you could win the lottery. What was it, 7 times? He said, like
Yeah,
Maybe
my
this
thing
will
is
be
just
our
trying to
lottery
predict the
one year.
final 4. That's what I always
Yeah.
go for. Is can I pick the final
Yes.
4 and the final game?
Yeah.
Also, Nick, to your point, I also think the college one and done rule is kind of showing up a little bit, where you have really
Yes.
talented freshmen committing to schools and then just leaving for the NBA. It's hard to replenish that talent every year. So teams that have seniors and juniors that have been playing for a while and playing together for a while, they end up being better than those one and done teams.
So,
But
Jake,
for
now
the-
with the
To show, go ahead, Andrew.
so now with like college players being able to get like their own brands and like be able to like what's the word there to be able to promote such brands, I feel like that's gonna dwindle them down because like no league team is gonna really want a player like that when they're already got like this big of a brand going on. But some might. But I mean, it's like, will this like branding kind of like get in the way as a freshman coming into the league and just being like they're all about the money right now than they are about playing the game?
I mean,
that's-
I don't think that's
that's
going to
what I'm-
necessarily. I don't necessarily think that's going to hurt any of the one and done stuff. I mean, that's something you can evaluate in the draft process. I don't think it would hurt anybody's draft stock. And most of the guys who are doing NIL deals are some of the better one and done freshmen in the country. It's not like these guys are lower second round picks in the NBA draft. These are lottery guys. Everybody's going to take a shot on them.
I will say, since 2006, when the one and done was created, only 4 teams less than a 1 or a lower seed than a 1 have actually won the whole tournament, and that was 2 UConn teams, a Florida team in 2006, and Villanova as a 2 seed. So, yes, there have been a lot of seniors as well on some of those teams, like the UConn one. Well, even though Kemba Walker was actually a junior, but he graduated as a junior. So, like, there have been those teams that have had them, but there's also been a lot of one and done teams, like the what was it? Anthony Davis, I think, was a one and done, was he not? Right. So there's been quite a few of them, but I think it just points to the fact that there are a lot of schools that when you have the talent just wins out anyways. And to your point, Nick, I don't think the population thing really will make a difference, only for the fact that as the population grows, the pool may grow, but the percentage of people that are going to be at the top is always going to stay pretty consistent of like where the talent is, because you're competing against people. So you're competing to be at the top, to get to the top school when you're in high school. You're competing once you're in college to be the top school. So I just don't see the that having much of an effect on it. I think we'll continue to see 1 seeds dominate the overall tournament, while they will go down. Again, we did have that one team that was beating Virginia. What was it, 4 years ago now? That when they went out as the first time. So I think we'll see a few more of those. But again, Virginia came back the next year and actually won the tournament. So we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. We'll see. We'll mark this on your calendar, boys. We'll be back here in 2030, like Justin said, to see who was correct.
Even more so, I can't wait to see how wrong Kyle is in this bracket. So
Yes,
he's so
sir.
confident
And Jake.
every year.
And Jake.
I'm looking at it. Was there anything else that anyone wanted to discuss today? Looks like Andrew froze. Is there anything
Rip
else
Andrew.
anyone wanted to discuss or talk about today? We kind of went through. We wanted to dedicate a whole episode to going through this, showing our wacky opinions. Anyone have anything else to bring up today? We'll talk in NFL next week. That's for sure.
I definitely think we should see who won our group last year as Plymouth Problems. Do we remember?
Let me check. Let me check.
I had some nasty ones. So.
Oh, for are we talking about the brackets from last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually my first ever official bracket. Come to think of it, but yeah, now we're doing like.
You want to know who won last year?
I was gonna say Kyle did.
I won
Kyle did.
last year.
Who was the
I came up
winner of
second to
last
Kyle.
year's March Madness?
Baylor.
Baylor. That's why Kyle won
it
Baylor.
last year.
First time he's ever won.
Also, to be fair,
So
Kyle,
not true.
was that the one that you actually wanted to win? Because you had more than one bracket. That's what I want
Yes.
to know. Okay.
No, that was the one I actually wanted to win. Yes, I know I had more than one. I kept accidentally adding them to the chat to the to the group by accident.
So we're on the same page. After the first round, I was number 1, so I had the most first round picks correct. So I just want to keep that on the same
That
page.
is true. That is true.
Fair enough.
Kyle had in that bracket 160 points. I'm not actually sure how much, but as a percentage, he got 98%. And where are you, Nick? Oh, all the way down at 26.
Yeah, 26.
So-
The last 3 rounds are huge. If you can pick up to that, it's huge.
Yep. First rounds really don't matter. It's the end that matters.
Oh,
So
we lost Andrew.
oh,
He'll be back in a second, probably.
He's
Yeah,
gone.
he's
Where did I
Um,
end up in that tournament bracket last year?
You were third behind me and Kyle,
You had Liberty winning.
and still beat you. And still beat you,
And
Nick.
still came in third, Nick.
I gotta see his bracket. What kind of dumb shit was I on?
What did you have? You had Wisconsin. Oh, we had Wisconsin, boys.
Versus Baylor. Oh wait, no, I didn't. Never mind.
Oh my goodness.
Oof.
You had you
I
did.
had
You had
Wisconsin versus
Wisconsin.
Kansas. I had Liberty top 4. God, I was on crack.
I just want to say I was so annoyed last year because it was down to me and Kyle. Because Kyle, did you have Baylor against Gonzaga?
Yes. Sure
Yeah.
did.
So it was literally down to which one of us got that game right. Because I had Gonzaga over Baylor.
I had 3 out of the final 4 right last year.
Mm.
Yeah, we get it. Big Dick Kyle. Okay,
Big-
Wrapping it up. Andrew's broken. That's fine. Thank you everyone for coming to listen to the podcast today. This is our March Madness special, and it's very, very special. So we appreciate everyone taking the time to listen. Please take your time to like, subscribe, leave comments about further episodes, as well as what are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen on March Madness coming up? We do hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. Usually post this towards the weekend, so have a great weekend. Enjoy March Madness, because we sure will be as much as each of us watches it. Have a good
Can
one.
I have one more closing point? Just quick before we finish. Brady. What? Okay.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking about it next week,
Who
Steve.
called it?
We will see you guys next week. Okay.